Hello and welcome to the Slovakia Ring Circuit in Slovakia. I have the incredible opportunity, because of my work, to be here, and I actually have a media ticket, so I'm allowed to go everywhere around the circuit and take incredible pictures and videos for you. Join me today on the Swift Cup Europe. The Swift Cup Europe is a race that takes place 6 times each season, and it's all about Suzuki Swift. So you can only attend with your Suzuki Swift, either in the class or the category with a 1.6 litre or with the 1.4 litre turbocharged engine. And the junior chef of the company that I work for, ABF Frischmann GmbH, races in the 1.4 litre turbocharged Suzuki Swift. The Swift Cup Europe does have 6 race weekends, and this one is in Slovakia Ring in Slovakia, but they also do take place in Austria, for example, at the Red Bull Ring or at the Ring in Hungary. I have this incredible opportunity because my boss asked me if I wanted to join and take some really good pictures and videos of Bastian Racing and for our ABF Racing team, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, but I will also take you along and give you a little glimpse of what a race weekend looks like here on the Slovakia Ring Circuit. This is the first time for me to be at a race or at a circuit like this, at a motor racing circuit, and it is so cool. I want to show you everything. The Slovakia Ring Circuit is located about 30 kilometers away from Bratislava in Slovakia, and it is about 6 kilometers, I believe exactly 5.935 kilometers long, and the major feature of it is that it has 2 prominent humps over which the cars have to drive. They do sometimes take off, but not dramatically. It's a very interesting location to take photos and videos, so I will definitely make use of that. Apart from the Swift Cup Europe, there's a bunch of other races taking place here as well. For example, the Formula 4. Because of this, there are cars racing all the time, and you can watch the circuit at any time. If you're wondering what the paddock looks like for this kind of circuit where there's races all the time, let me show you. It's incredible. Let me quickly explain why I am here. The company that I work for, the ABF Frischmann GmbH, is located in Austria where I live, and they are a car repair shop and a car dealership, and I am the marketing manager. So I take photos and I do marketing materials and all kinds of such things. And I also had this incredible opportunity to come with them on one of the race weekends. Our racing team is called ABF Racing Team. ABF is short for ABF Frischmann, and the junior chef, Bastian Frischmann, is our racing driver. So what is the schedule on a race weekend like this? On day one, on Thursday, it's mostly about getting there, setting up your camp, because we do have tents and of course a trailer, kind of camper van, and the car has to be checked to make sure that everything is in working order but also legal, so that we don't have any kind of advantage over other races. Once everything is checked and everything is set, there are some training sessions in order. So on these training sessions you can test your vehicle, check for your tire pressure, see how well is the road, what are the turns like, and just really make sure that your team is working right and that your vehicle is working properly. After all these training sessions, on usually Friday, which is today, there will be a qualifying, and in this qualifying you are going to find out from which position you will start in the first race. Once qualifying is done, that's when the real stuff happens. Then there's race 1, 2 and 3. Each race only takes around 25 minutes, and in this time you just go around the circuit and try to go as far up close to the podium as you possibly can. And with each race you can win a trophy, you can win a first place, second place, third place and gather points. And at the end of the season, depending on how many points you have, you can be the winner. So because the track is 6 kilometers long, it is quite a place to walk around with a camera and try to get good picture spots. And because the race is only 25 minutes long, you have a very limited time to jump from spot to spot. So we have this electric scooter and it's just incredible because you can go 25 kilometers an hour. So I just grab my backpack, put my camera gear in and go. Just scooting away on my scooter. Alright, so I'm putting my scooter down here. I'll just walk up here. And that is the start and the finish line. And that's where they start. And here's a major feature, the hump. And I'll just stand up there, maybe on that side, and then I'll be able to film the start and from up there. Tests the cars right now. We're in a training session. I've got a yellow flag. And from here you can see them quite well. You can see that turn. See that car? Good photo spot. Let's stay here. Everything is quite official here because of all the safety regulations. After all, these vehicles do go to speeds of up to 250 kilometers an hour sometimes. So I have a high visibility vest and this little media thing that makes sure that everybody knows I am allowed to be around the track taking photos. I did have a security briefing for spaces where I'm not allowed to go because it's just too dangerous, because I do get super close to the guardrails. Anything could happen. It's a very dangerous sport, and taking photos and videos, you actually do have to be super careful to jump out of the way if a car comes too close or if there's a crash. Motorsports on a racing circuit is a completely different world compared to what I do with my Mini Cooper S, but I am so overjoyed that I can share this with you, and let me know what you think about this. Have you been to any race weekends? Tell me your thoughts. While you do get very close to the guardrails and to the vehicles themselves, you still need a really big lens to be able to take nice photographs or even just videos of the cars. And that's why I rented a 100 to 400 millimeter lens from Sigma, and I'm putting it on my Sony A7C to take the photos, in case you're interested in the behind the scenes kind of technical data. I do also have my normal lens that I use for all of my other videos. It's the 28 to 70 millimeter lens, also from Sigma. So this is what my setup looks like. I've got my Sony A7C and the Sigma 100 to 400. And I've also got my polarizing filter on the front. so quite big and bulky, but that's okay. I'm not using a tripod because it's not good if I want to move around. And here's the start. All the way in the distance you can see the Swifts are ready for the qualifying round. Okay, we're getting ready for it. This is my outfit. High visibility vest so everybody can see I'm allowed to be here. I'm very excited, super cool. Let's go. The qualifying session wasn't particularly important for our team this weekend. Bastian had received a penalty at the previous race in Most, which meant he had to start from the last place regardless of his qualifying result. So, I used the session to familiarize myself with the circuit and to scout out good photography angles for when the real action would begin. After qualifying for all the races was complete, the track was opened for a track walk in the afternoon. This is a chance for drivers, teams and sometimes media to walk the circuit, study the corners and get a feel for the track. I took the opportunity to explore it a bit differently, riding around the track on the trusty e-scooter and taking in the layout up close. Later in the afternoon, before dinner, we walked around the paddock of some of the larger race teams. My boss shared interesting facts and his knowledge about the different races taking place, as well as the cars themselves. There were Formula cars and GT Cup endurance cars being prepared, and it was incredibly exciting to see the supercars up close and watch the mechanics at work. My eyes were practically popping out. It really set the tone for how thrilling the weekend would be. Afterwards, we cooked and ate together in the Swift paddock, chatting about the challenges ahead for the next races. Fortunately, the weather forecast looked perfect. Comfortable temperatures and no rain expected. Welcome to race day. Today the Swift Cup Europe is taking place and also a couple of other races. The first race I am watching today and taking photos of is the Formula 4. Unlike the Swift Cup Europe cars, which are modified production hatchbacks built for close, door-to-door racing, Formula cars are purpose-built single-seaters designed purely for speed, aerodynamics and precision. You can see the difference immediately. Formula cars have open wheels and open cockpits, while Swift Cup cars, which are just Suzuki Swifts, look more like familiar road cars. One of the most noticeable features of the Formula cars is the halo device, a curved titanium structure that arches over the cockpit, surrounding the driver's head. It may look simple, but it's incredibly strong and can deflect large objects or debris in the event of a crash. Since its introduction in 2018, the halo has already been credited with saving several lives, making it one of the most important safety innovations in modern single-seater racing. Formula cars also have large aerodynamic elements that generate downforce, allowing them to corner at astonishing speeds. In contrast, Swift Cup cars rely on mechanical grip, tire management and tactical overtaking, making for a very different style of racing, even on the same track. As you can see, before the actual race begins, the cars first leave the pit lane and drive a lap around the circuit to take their positions on the starting grid. Once the cars are lined up, the safety car heads out for its lap and a 5-minute countdown begins. During this time, team members can assist the drivers on the grid and photographers and media personnel are also allowed to move around.
which is how I managed to get some close-up shots during a later race. At the 2-minute signal, all personnel must clear the tarmac and the cars get ready to set off for the formation lap. The formation lap is a single lap around the circuit before the race officially starts. Its purpose is to bring the tires and brakes up to temperature and to allow drivers to check their cars and get into rhythm. You'll notice the drivers weaving from side to side to heat the tires and improve grip. At the back of the field, the medical car follows for safety. After completing the formation lap, the cars return to the starting grid and come to a final stop. When the lights go out this time, the race begins. Everyone accelerates at the same time, and this is where things get intense. The first few corners are always the most critical and prone to incidents, as the entire field is still tightly packed. Drivers must be especially aware of their surroundings, constantly checking their mirrors and knowing where other cars are positioned to avoid contact. Anyone who's ever tried to change lanes in traffic knows what it's like to check for space. Now imagine doing that at 160 km per hour while diving into a turn. If you're interested in following more of the Swift Cup Europe or want to see what I do for work, be sure to follow Frischmann on Instagram. I post updates about ABF Racing and all things related to the company.
Just before the race has started, I'm already in the correct position for the photographs. I'm currently looking at the starting position and one of the humps. And before every race starts, there is a safety car driving around the track to make sure everything is ready and safe. In this case, it's a very cool Toyota Supra. Now the first race of the Swift Cup Europe is about to start. We are starting from the last position because of a penalty that we had from the last race. So this is going to be very interesting. Wish us luck. In the starting position right now, you can see that there's a bunch of cars, then us, and then more cars. That's because in this case, in the Swift Cup Europe, there's 2 categories starting at the same time. In the front, there's the 1.4 litre turbocharged vehicles. Ours is also there, and then behind them is the 1.6 litre non-turbo charged Swifts.
Starting from the back of the grid in the 1.4 litre turbocharged Swift category is not easy. All the drivers were putting in strong lap times during this first race, and Bastian only managed to gain 1 position, finishing in 6th place. But this actually gave him an advantage for the next race. Under the reverse grid rule, he will start 2nd on the grid. From there, all he has to do is defend his position, drive cleanly and avoid mistakes. Between race 1 and 2, we had a few hours to rest. I used the time to charge my cameras and review footage, while Bastian and the team prepared the car. They fitted fresh semi-slick tires, refueled and checked the brakes to make sure everything was ready for the next race. Soon enough, it was time to grab the e-scooter again, and this time I headed onto the grid myself. The minutes before the race are always tense. The safety car completes its lap and the team performs final checks. Tires, communication systems, last instructions. Everything is checked and rechecked. You can feel the nervous energy and see the focus in Bastian's eyes. Everyone is already racing in their minds, thinking through every corner. Then the 2-minute signal sounds and all personnel must clear the grid. It's go time.
first place, Bastian Frischmann. Bastian Frischmann from Austria, and that's why we have prepared the Austrian anthem in few moments. Now is the time for the anthem for the winner.
And sure enough, Bastian drove flawlessly. He drove a clean, controlled race and took the checkered flag in first place. The team was ecstatic, and even as the rain started pouring later in the afternoon, we cooked dinner together and celebrated, grinning from ear to ear, ready for the next day of racing.
Good morning here on the Slovakia Ring Circuit. Today is day 3 of the race weekend. Yesterday was a complete success. The first race where he had to start from the last place, from the last position, he was able to gain 1 position, and then due to the reverse grid rule he was able to start in the second race from the second position, and he was able to get the first place and was the winner of that race. So the second race was a complete success, and now for the third race today on Sunday he is starting from the last position. This last race takes place in the late afternoon, so until then we're going to check out a couple of other races, a couple of vehicles, and see the paddock. And then once the race starts we will see how that goes again. Then that will pretty much be the end of this race weekend at Slovakia Ring Circuit. Yesterday I also saw a really cool race. It was the GT Cup Series Endurance. So that was an hour-long race with loads of different cars in different categories competing at the same time. And we saw some incredible vehicles there. I was able to take some pictures from the paddock and from the box stop. So I met some friends with the people at M Sport, so BMW, and I saw the M4 and the M6 that they have. And that's just incredible, really incredible. Definitely a level up from my work and my passion with the Mini Cooper S, but motorsport is very big here and everyone is so passionate. It's incredible to see. I feel very comfortable here. I have certainly figured out my dream job, and it is driving this safety car, because it is always on number 1, the first place, and it drives ahead of all of these supercars, really supercars. And it just looks like a bunch of fun to be driving around the circuit every time and making sure that everyone is safe. So that's, I think, something I would like to do. Photographing these events has been an incredible experience, because I was able to get ultra close to what was happening right at the guardrails, where vehicles were passing me at 200 kilometers an hour. It is very exhilarating and also a little bit scary, but an experience I would not want to miss. I was also able to go right on the track at the beginning of the race, because before each race the safety car goes around the track, and there's about 5 minutes in which you can still be with your driver. So also the photographers are allowed to be on the racetrack there. And I got some incredible shots. This is really right in the middle of motorsport.
off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see what we found. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see what we found. And you're never gonna see what we
Because of the reverse grid rule, Bastian had to start the final race from the back of the grid once again. Despite this challenge, he drove cleanly and consistently, finishing in 5th place. It was a successful race weekend with no crashes and no damage to the car. A solid performance all around.
The Swift Cup Europe 2025 on Slovakia Ring Circuit is officially ended. We are now packing up and leaving to go back home. This was the most incredible experience of motorsport that I've had, and I will now most certainly go to more races and see what motorsport has to offer. Hopefully one day I also can drive on a track like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Sometimes things may seem unclear. Trust yourself.